settle down. Yeah, we were Algiers overload. Just to let you know, programming note, tomorrow afternoon, Sigrid Kaag will brief the council in close consultations. She will then, she told me she would come by the stakeout and speak to you afterwards. So that'll be sometime after 4 p.m. Tomorrow. We will have a guest tomorrow at the briefing, and that will be Kanni Wignaraja, the Assistant Secretary General and Director of the Regional Bureau for Asia and the Pacific of UNDP. She'll be here in person. She will also be joined by the UNDP representative for Afghanistan, who is in Kabul, Stephen Rodriques, and they will be talking about the socioeconomic situation in Afghanistan. Kanni has just returned from there. Also in Afghanistan, you heard the Security Council briefing from Roza Otunbayeva, the Secretary General Special Representative. She spoke to you as well at the stakeout, so I won't go back into all of that she told you and the Council. Our Deputy Secretary General Amina Mohammed arrived in Dubai in the UAE earlier today. Upon her arrival, she held a number of bilateral meetings with senior government officials, including Minister of State for Financial Affairs, Mohammed bin Hadi Al Husseini, and the Minister of State for International Cooperation, Rimbit Ibrahim Al Hashimi, as well as the president of COP28, Dr. Sultan Ahmed Al Jaber. In her meeting, she stressed the importance of accelerating action for the Sustainable Development Goals. She also acknowledged the UAE's second voluntary national review. Furthermore, Ms. Mohammed congratulated the country on the successful delivery of the UAE consensus at COP28, despite the challenging geopolitical situation. She then encouraged the UAE to leverage the commitments made at COP to address the triple planetary crisis. And yesterday, Ms. Mohammed was in Lebanon. She attended, together with Undersecretary General Guy Ryder, the Arab Regional Forum on Sustainable Development. She also had meetings with the acting Prime Minister, Mr. Mikati, and the Foreign Minister, Mr. Bouhabib. She is departing UAE very shortly and coming back here. Staying in Lebanon, the Office of the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs tell us that they are deeply concerned about the continuing hostilities affecting civilians and civilian infrastructure along the Blue Line and beyond. This includes an Israeli airstrikes on a health center in Odessa in the south of Lebanon on March 4th. 3 volunteer paramedics were killed. The World Health Organization condemned the incident, urging immediate halt to attacks on civilians and healthcare in Lebanon. WHO reported that since 7 October 2023, 7 attacks on healthcare facilities in Lebanon have been reported, resulting in 7 deaths. Our OCHA colleagues in Lebanon warned that the humanitarian situation on the south of the country remains dire, with more than 90,000 people internally displaced and at least 42 civilian casualties reported because of the fighting. And a quick update on neighboring Syria, where the UN Development Program, together with the UN High Commissioner for Refugees, today launched a 2024 regional strategic overview of the Refugee and Resilience Plan for the Syria crisis. This is the main regional platform to support Syrian refugees and their host communities. For this year, our partners estimate that $4.9 billion is required to respond to the priority needs of vulnerable population and institutions impacted by the Syria crisis in Turkey, Lebanon, Jordan, and Turkey, Lebanon, Jordan, Egypt, and Iraq. The urgent needs of more than 6.1 million Syrian refugees and 6.8 million host community members are increasingly going unmet. The 2 agencies warned and underfunding would leave 450,000 refugees without education. Health gaps could pose threats to refugees, while thousands of vulnerable households would lose food assistance. And today, the Security Council will hold a private meeting on Haiti to discuss the alarming escalation of gang violence. The head of the mission there, Maria Isabel Salvador, will brief council members. The situation in Port-au-Prince remains extremely fragile as sporadic attacks have continued and all flights in and out of Haiti remain canceled. The Secretary General reiterates the need for urgent action, including financing for the multinational security support mission to tackle the security needs of the people of Haiti. The Secretary General reiterates his call on the government of Haiti and all Haitian stakeholders to set aside their differences and advance a common path towards the restoration of democratic institutions. And our colleagues who focus on humanitarian affairs say that thousands of civilians continue to be caught up in the violence in the capital Port-au-Prince and beyond. The majority of the 15,000 newly displaced people we mentioned to you yesterday are women and children. Displaced families are traumatized. Access to food, health care, and hygiene and psychosocial support are among the most urgent needs for civilians in Port-au-Prince. As we mentioned yesterday, we and our humanitarian partners are mobilized and have been delivering emergency aid, but the escalating violence is severely disrupting operations. Our humanitarian colleagues also advise they're concerned about the impact of the violence on hospitals, on health centers, and schools in Port-au-Prince and some neighboring areas in Haiti. Health infrastructure is on the brink of collapse. Port-au-Prince's main public hospital was closed due to the violence and the inability of staff to actually get to the hospital to support the people who need help. The main hospitals receiving wounded civilians are overloaded, partly due to the number of people injured. There's also an urgent need for blood products in Haiti. In a positive development, the NGO Médecins Sans Frontières announced yesterday that they managed to open up another healthcare center in Carrefour, which is a neighborhood of Port-au-Prince. Humanitarian organizations need unhindered access to the most vulnerable people now. Moving to Sudan, I can tell you that we welcome the government's decision to allow aid to come in through several border crossings and allow for more humanitarian flights into Sudan. In a post on social media, Martin Griffiths, the head of our humanitarian operations, stressed that it is critical to ensure cross-border aid to the country and underscored that communities caught behind conflict lines need more, saying that, of course, time is of the essence to reach people who need help. Earlier today, in a statement, the World Food Programme warned that the country's current round of hostilities could trigger the world's largest hunger crisis. More than 25 million people across Sudan, as well as South Sudan and Chad, which are hosting people who have fled the fighting in Sudan, are trapped in a spiral of deteriorating food insecurity. And just to flag that the executive director of the World Food Programme, Cindy McCain, is currently was currently visiting transit camps in South Sudan, where almost 600,000 people have crossed from Sudan in the past 10 months. And staying on South Sudan, yesterday our peacekeeping mission in the country issued a statement condemning the killing of one of our South Sudanese colleagues in Abyemom, close to the border with Warrap State and Abyei. Charles Kirgone served with the peacekeeping mission in Wau. He was reportedly killed during an attack by armed men on a relative's home in Abyemom, where he was staying. The mission extends his deepest condolences to his friends and families and calls on the authorities to investigate as quickly as possible the circumstances around his killing. And a quick update from Bolivia, where our UN team there supporting the authorities tackle massive floods which have worsened by the El Nino phenomena and climate change. Acting resident coordinator Rafael Ramirez worked to coordinate swift support for affected areas where over 17,000 children are affected by school closures. Our team is further assessing the impacts on water, sanitation, health center, and shelter. Additionally, the UN emergency team is working with authorities in Oruro, another flooded city. Our team on the ground remains committed to supporting authorities, mobilizing resources, providing immediate and long-term assistance to help this emergency. And finally, one more member state, one more quiz. An country in East Africa, which is home to Lake Assal, which is a cradle lake in the center of the country that is 10 times saltier than the sea, which makes it the second saltiest body of water in the world after the Don Juan Pond in Antarctica. Who knew there was a pond in Antarctica named after Don Juan? interesting backstory. Anyway, Lake Assel is at 509 feet below sea level. It is also the lowest point on the African continent. No, Djibouti. Djibouti. We thank our friends in Djibouti, 76 paid-up member states. Edith and Deji.
Thank you, Steph. Two follow-ups on Haiti. First, has the Secretariat or the Secretary General gotten any indication at all of when Kenyan and troops from other countries, including Benin, can deploy to Haiti?
No, we have not been given a time frame. I know the support mission also needs more financial support, but we have not been given a time frame.
And secondly, is there any way that we can get even some sort of a summary of what the SRSG is going to deliver to the council this afternoon?
We'll see what we're able to share with you. Deji.
Yes, on Haiti, the gangster Cherizier today said if the Prime Minister Henry does not resign, if the international community continues to support him, we will be heading straight for a civil war that will lead to genocide. I don't know whether you have already read this news.
We continue to deal with Mr. Henry as the Prime Minister of Haiti. I think, as we said, it is important that everyone in Haiti, all stakeholders, everyone, political actors and other, work towards, first of all, restoring safety and support Haitian institutions.
My second question, the Israeli government approved a plan for 3,400 new homes in West Bank for settlements. And the finance minister even said that this construction is a response to a Palestinian attack 2 weeks ago. What is the position of the latest?
Our position on settlements remains constant and unchanged, that they are illegal under international law, whether it's those that exist or those that will be built.
But do you think this kind of response could bring, let's say, security for Israeli settlers?
Well, we think illegal settlements are illegal, right? And we do not think they are conducive, to say the least, to a two-state solution. Javier.
Yes, Steph, more on Haiti. It looks that Ariel Henry could step down in the next hours or days. If this happens, what's next? What's the role of the United Nations in a country with a president and prime minister? And does it affect in any sort the deployment of the multilateral force? Thank you.
Well, I mean, every day in Haiti gets worse, right? Or you could almost argue every hour in Haiti gets worse. Is it affecting the deployment of the multinational support force? What I can tell you is that every day it increases the need for the support force to be deployed as quickly as possible for the sake of people in Haiti. I mean, I think the humanitarian updates I've shared with you yesterday and today are horrific, right? And so we need the international community to help the Haitian authorities restore law and order and calm the situation down. I can't predict what will happen, what Mr. Henry will do in the next day or hours, but whatever happens should follow the constitutional order in Haiti. Michelle, and then Maggie.
Same topic. On Kenya, has the SG received the formal letter from Kenya notifying that they will send troops to Haiti?
I have to check where we are on letters on the inbox.
Okay, and then there's been, obviously, the situation's very fluid, but a lot of reporting. Is the UN at all involved in efforts to try and get the Prime Minister back to Haiti?
We're continuing to follow his whereabouts very closely.
Are you involved in?
I will leave it. I will leave it at that.
And then is the UN staff and officials and aid workers who are in Haiti, are they at all feeling threatened?
Well, it's. I mean, I spoke targeted. No, right? I think there were some rumors that we had ordered an evacuation of staff. That is untrue. Obviously, they're working trying to work in a very hostile environment. The continued violence makes it extremely difficult for us to do our humanitarian work, and it of course focuses us on what we need to do on the political track. Margaret Bashir, Voice of America.
Thank you. Does the Secretary General believe what's happening right now in Haiti is a coup?
I would not use that word.
Okay, and has he had any phone or in-person contact with Mr. Henry in the last 24 hours since we asked you yesterday?
Not that I'm aware of. He has been on the phone with his special representative who's briefed him directly. Sherwin, then Sirife, then Ibtisam, and then we'll go around.
Same topic, just to sort of embellish on Michelle's question. Who's providing security support to the mission in Haiti?
I mean, like we do anywhere we operate, it's obviously we rely on our staff from the Department of Safety and Security, but it is also the responsibilities in any host country of the government to help to provide security for our operations.
Yeah, but I mean, that speaks to the context, right? I mean, this is a government, or the institutions in Haiti are not functional. The Haitian police doesn't have capacity. So it begs the question, who's protecting your staff then?
It is a challenging environment for our staff. I mean, I was speaking to one colleague this morning. Challenging is putting it mildly. Sarifa.
Not on the same topic, but thank you, Stéphane. As the International Women's Day is approaching, I would actually like to draw your attention to a rather disturbing event and trend in Gaza, and it's actually increasingly becoming more prominent. Israeli soldiers have been showcasing undergarments of Palestinian women in the houses they enter, and they've been filming these strange actions and publishing them on social media. So it's somehow like they're mocking the death and the destruction that is being caused there. What is your reaction to this?
I mean, I've seen some of these reports. They're extremely disturbing indeed, and they need to be investigated swiftly by the Israeli authorities. Ibtisam, then Vladimir.
Thank you, Steph. My question is about, there are some reports that Israeli real estate companies are holding events in the US and in Canada, selling land and property in East Jerusalem and in the occupied Palestinian territory, in settlements, etc. Do you have any comments on that?
Listen, I've seen some social media posts on it. I don't know exactly what is going on, but obviously people's land should not be sold without the approval of the owner. But I frankly, I don't know enough about.
I mean, a follow-up. I mean, this is actually something that is not new. They have been doing that. They did it in the past, but now it seems to be that it's intensifying, like being more happening more. The question is, since this is an occupied territory, and do you believe that the two governments, Canada and the U.S., given the fact that they talk about that the settlements are illegal, etc., that they should take steps against such events and such actions?
I don't know enough to comment on the specific incidents, but obviously everyone has a duty to respect international law and to make sure it's respected on their territory. Vladimir, then Stéphane.
Thank you, Stéphane. Today, Russia launched a missile strike on Odessa during Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis' visit to the city. He and President Zelensky were in the port close to the blast, sort of 150 meters from there. There are dead and wounded among Odessa residents. Do you have any?
Well, we've seen these reports. Obviously, yet another example of the horrific impact of this conflict. We once again condemn any attacks on civilians and civilian infrastructure.
I have another question, please. Yemeni Houthis attacked the true confident dry cargo ship in the Gulf. At least 2 sailors were killed and 4 were injured, and a fire started on board and the ship is sinking. Do you have this information?
Yes, I mean, we're very concerned about these reports of the of continuing incidents in the Red Sea, including the attack against the True Confidence, as you mentioned, with indication that the crew had to evacuate. We don't know what the status of the crew is. Again, we're seeing the risks caused to property, to life, to the ecology in the area by these continued activities, and we call once again for the full respect of Security Council Resolution 2722, which must be respected in its entirety, and we call on the Houthis to cease all attacks against international shipping in the Red Sea. Stefano Vaccara, La Voce di New York.
Grazie mille. As a follow-up on Haiti, actually, it looks like a waste of time that there has been when since last October. It has been now, it's happening what everybody expected. Just a week ago in Guyana, I think.
What is the question?
The question is this mid-election date that was agreed 1 week ago, 2025. For what I understand, with the Prime Minister of Haiti, there was an agreement. Mid-2025 is very far away. What was the Secretary General thinking when this agreement was?
The Secretary General's concern right now is for the life and safety of the Haitian people. So we need to have the situation on the ground calm. We need to have the multinational support force. I think it bears reminding, and I think Volker Turk did it for us today, that a staggering 1,193 people have been killed in Haiti since the beginning of the year because of this man-made violence. There needs to be an adherence to political commitments.
Is that the responsibility to protect? Isn't this a typical case where actually?
That will be for member states to decide. But I have to tell you, the Secretary General, I think, has been very clear on what he feels is the best route forward to protect people in Haiti. All right, I think we'll go on the screen. There's a question from Francis Robles. Francis?
Sorry, I wrote it in the chat. Is the UN encouraging Mr. Henry to resign, and do we know where he is now?
No, our understanding that he is in Puerto Rico. We're not in the business of encouraging him to resign. Okay, Deji, and then I'm going to lunch. I don't know about you. Go ahead.
Yeah, Steph, I think you're going to hear this question from time to time, so let me fire the first shot. Today, with Miss Nikki Haley dropping out of the race.
No, I have no comment. Okay, thank you
I
all.
just want to ask: Is
No,
the
that's
UN
it.
ready for a possible Trump
Thank you
term?
very much.